Guys with a puppy.
That's hot.
Short kings. Confident short guys.
Oh, 5'1". I don't want to be mean, though.
You don't want to be mean.
But hey, but generally those boys are tripods. So next question.
Grab the KY and get yourself ready. You got some sliding to do. Hanging out with TL and the boys. Maybe some critters too. So get your phone and get on the gram. You know where to find the man. Slide into the DMs. Girls on your mind. Slide into the DMs. But baby, take your time. Slide, slip it on in. Here we go again. DM Monday.
Welcome back to another episode of the DM Monday podcast. I'm Trey Lewis here with my co-host Mitchell Wallace, and today's guest is Hannah Dam Dasher. What's up, girl?
Howdy.
How you doing?
Fat and sassy.
I'm so glad that you're here to do this.
Well, I'm tickled that you're having me,
Yeah,
darling.
how long was your drive?
21 minutes.
Oh, okay. So,
Not long at
Not
all.
long. I thought, I don't know, sometimes people live on the other side of Nashville and they're like, damn, that's an hour to get out there. Our old studio was downtown. So I always
Good
like
point.
to talk about my first time meeting somebody. So the first time I met you or knew who you were, I was like, I wasn't living in Nashville yet. I was just like coming up here. And I'm friends with this girl named Alicia in Tuscaloosa. I don't know if you remember her. And
God, was it with the Steelwoods?
yeah. Like you were running around with, were you on tour with Stillwoods?
Yes,
That's what it was?
Yes, me and Joe Fortner.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
from
Joe
Steelwoods.
Fortner and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember like,
Chase Butler.
Chase Butler, seeing y'all running around in Tuscaloosa, you know, together. And then I was like, I saw you at the local one night when I first moved to town. I was like, I'm about to go talk to her because like she knows this person. And then I was just like, it was that moment where you like see somebody on the internet and you like see them hanging out. And it was just like, I tried to come talk to you. And it was just like weird. You know what I mean?
Was I drunk?
No, I don't know if you were drunk. It was just like, I think that like I was overly excited because I felt like I knew you. And then it was just like this awkward conversation. You were like, good to see you, hon. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
no, it wasn't you. It was just like, I think it was me. It was just like, I was just like, yeah, I know you. I see you on the internet. You know,
Yeah.
it was
That's
like
crazy.
awkward.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
And now you get that a lot
Yeah.
when you go places and people, you know, kind of
Yeah.
freak out when they meet you. It's
Yeah.
kind of humbles you,
It's
doesn't
wild. Yeah. I want to talk about the stand by your pan thing. Because we're going to talk about your country music, obviously. You know, I love your music. I think it's great.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the videos you do playing your guitar. I remember one of the first videos I saw of you playing music. You were sitting on the edge of the tub playing
Yep.
guitar, and I was like, "Damn, she can play good. She's really good at guitar.
Thank
Like you
you.
can pick it. Like, you know what I mean? You're not just, you know, capo on the 6th fret playing
God,
chords.
no.
Like you can actually like pick the damn thing."
Well, if you're going to hold one, you might as well, right?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Maybe I
I
need to
did it
learn how to
just to-
play guitar.
Just to piss off the other chicks in town. What about TikTok? Well, you know, when quarantine hit, I was set to do some dates with Dirk Bentley. I was so tickled. Anyhow, because I've never done a full tour with anybody before. Anyhow, but the world shut down, restaurants shut down, and I needed a stage. And I thought, oh my God, my girlfriends are going to starve to death because they don't know how to cook. And so I made the kitchen my stage, and Stand By Your Pan was born. And I just wanted to infuse
Was
country
it like
music.
from the get go? You were like, I'm just going to call it Stand By Your
Well,
Pan?
no, I had the foresight about probably 5 years before that to go to my lawyer and reserve that because I thought, well, you know what? If little Kimberly with Little Big Town is going to have a cooking show, which she did at the time, I thought, well, you know, because I loved to cook anyway, I thought I might have a cooking show or do something with it one day. I thought it was too cute to just pass up.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and reserved the rights to it, you know, probably 10 years ago.
Always thinking ahead.
Or 9 years ago. Well, sometimes you wouldn't know it to look at my streaming numbers. I have had no strategy there. But all that to say, Stand By Your Pan was born because, I mean, there's a little country music in everything that I do. And who knew that it would take off? But it was the recipes, but I think the majority of it was probably my kitchen's a comfort zone. You know, my house is, my friends call it a honky tonk Graceland because it's a, you know, it's a it's kind of a museum. I've got some pieces that belong to Waylon and Hank and Les Paul, and I'm still collecting. I just can't afford to add what I want. Yeah. But my kitchen is like a museum to my grandmother and my aunts and stuff. So, you know, when I go into my kitchen, I'm homesick. I want to feel like I'm cooking with my grandma again. So it's avocado green and harvest gold. And I just think a lot of folks can relate to those salt and pepper shakers, those white Tupperware salt and pepper shakers. And I think that's what made it work. And it's so relatable. And of course, they're getting the personality that is me 24/7.
Yeah.
You also shut off your voice with it. I know you had like at the beginning.
By your pen.
Yeah. At the beginning of it, you like shut off the voice, and like a lot of the comments were like of that. Like that was the main thing that caught people's attention. Yeah.
Well, I thought that, but you'd also be surprised that when I began to release music, people were like, I didn't know that you sang. And I'm thinking, well, I sing twice in every episode.
Yeah.
But anyhow, but yeah. But it has been great for merch sales and for ticket sales and people coming to the shows. And, you know, it's been so great to introduce me to, you know, my audience is so eclectic, and I'm grateful for that. Did
you find it hard to let people know that you sang? Because the cooking videos are going viral. Was it easy then to be like, oh, by the way, like here's all my music too, like listen to this?
I was at the label then, and so you know, luckily, you know, they pushed me to release as many music stuff as I was cooking stuff. So you know, a cooking video would go, you know, I had 500,000 views here. Well, I'd get 500,000 views on me sitting on the bathtub singing something. So that was great. And so I think when I released the half record, I had 1 million followers a month on TikTok, and I had 500,000 listeners on Spotify as a brand new artist without any radio play, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then they pulled the plug, of course, as soon as I released it. But all that to say, so I've been trying to build that back up.
Isn't that wild? And is that not?
And I was told that wasn't good enough, you know. Oh man, but anyway. Yeah, that was wild.
Were you making all that cooking content alone, or did you have someone behind the camera helping you edit? You just figured it all out?
Guys here?
I do all the editing. Still now, I do all the editing.
Which is so crazy.
Ring light and
little ring light. Oh yeah, the Cornbread Cowboi videos. I do all the filming.
Did you have a background in that, or did you just learn it? You were like, hey, this has to happen.
I learned it.
It out.
I just dove right in. I went to Spain and learned Spanish.
Hell yeah,
that's awesome.
So,
that's cool.
My buddy Johnny Cloherty, Johnny, I love you, but he told me in like 2017, 2018, he said, hey, there's this new app coming out that I think is going to be really big, and I think it's going to be a great thing to showcase your personality. You need to get on there. And I didn't know what the hell a ring light was, but he said it's called TikTok. Anyway, but he said, get on it. And so I started making videos, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
They were terrible. They were dark, but I learned, you know, eventually I learned, you know, as I saw people that did get a good job.
So were you doing it before COVID hit?
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
That's awesome. He's like your Mitch. Mitch is the one that told me to download it. My sisters originally told me about it, and I like looked at it and I was like,
I see you going live all the time, and I'm proud of you.
I have to. It's like it's like I got this record coming out. I mean, I'm at River House, but I mean, I'm still in independent mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not like
good.
it's not like I'm at a major label yet, and you know just as much as I do. It's like if you can get something to pop off on TikTok, then you know. Your streams are better. That's just, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's the new way of putting out music. I mean, there's parts of it that I don't like, but there is also and I was thinking about this when you were talking, you know, it's like, what were you doing before COVID? You know, like, I know you had a record deal, but like, how were you like showcasing like who you are as a person? You know what I mean?
I was begging my agency to put me on some shows and begging my label to introduce me to a manager.
Yeah, so
you know, so there wasn't really a platform to do that.
I'm saying like, and it's like, that's what, you know, you look at all the artists, you know, like the big names, you know, in country music, you know, and there's a lot that not only do their fans love their music, they love who they are as a person. You know what I mean? They want to come to the show. Sometimes they don't even care about the music. They just want to see that person standing in front of them for an hour and a half, you know?
Yeah. Not every singer is an entertainer, and not every entertainer is a representative of the genre. Like your Blake Sheltons or your Dolly Partons or your Reba McEntires. And that's what I've kind of aspired to be is, you know, I want to go to Hollywood. I'm doing some TV stuff. And, you know, my route hasn't looked the same and isn't going to look the same as everybody else's. So I've had to kind of put some blinders on, and that's been kind of I don't say intimidating, but maybe so, I guess kind of scary to management or, people here in town, because it's like, what do we do with her?
Yeah.
I know what to do with me.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's cool because it like puts the ball back in our court,
Good point.
Cause it's like, you can, do a stand by your pan or like whatever you want to do on TikTok. You can do like the skits with Cornbread Cowboi that are hilarious, by the way. If you haven't seen them, you should go check them out. But it's like, you can do all these things. You never know who's going to see that video. They're going to be like, somebody could see that video and be like, oh, wow, that's cool. We could really use her and this, or this guy and this, or, whatever. And it just opens all kinds of doors. And like, I think before COVID and before, I always call it the TikTok boom,
God.
Before all that stuff happened, there wasn't really any other way than labels, getting an artist and building the artist, It puts,
True, but I feel like that model would have worked for me really well, though.
Yeah.
Not to sound jaded or whatever, but I think they were trying that route, and it wasn't working for some acts, because I believe it was the wrong act and the wrong route for the wrong act. But then they saw my TikTok blow up, and they thought, well, then let's wait for a song of hers to go viral. And, they weren't, I think what they done with Zach Top is absolutely brilliant. I don't want to talk too much shop, but, we weren't playing the same song over and over and over and over and over and over again, which we should have done to drive traffic. The music was streaming well on its own, I think, because of my TikTok following, and we were just sending traffic there. But when you think about it, it's a lot for, to ask from those thumb scrollers to leave that app at the time and go back over to Spotify, search, type a name in, type it in, and then go hit follow and download. That was a lot. So I think to have, those numbers at the time, I think was great. But to sit and wait for an act to have a song that pops off like an Oliver Anthony kind of moment, like that's rare. And if we put that kind of a pressure on like a John Party and Eric Church, or me, that's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like a boiled egg went viral on the internet a couple of years ago too.
Yeah.
I think there's still a way to build it, like on the road. Artists like me, like we're going to put butts in seats if you put the resources behind them and you put them on the right stages. They will come, and that will stick.
For sure. And it's like you said, you got to be an entertainer. You know what I mean? And
by God,
I mean, I played in cover band for 8 years, so I know how to. I mean, Mitch has seen it.
Yes, you do.
Mitch has seen us go play shows, and everybody's just kind of like standing around. By the end of the night, I'm gonna have everybody in front of the stage, ready to party, and
take my wig off and sling it around my head.
Well, I mean, I'll take my shirt off and throw it out in the crowd if they earn it, But after the show, I'm going over the merch table. I'm shaking everybody's hand.
Same.
I'm signing babies' foreheads, titties, autographs, whatever.
Yes.
I'm there for it. And it's really cool getting out there and earning it.
That's the best part of the night, though, isn't it? That's how we do our research. When I'm done with the show and they escort me over there to merch, I call it meet and greet. But I mean, that's that feedback to me is crucial. Like what they're loving and what they want more of, and and their biggest question is, why aren't you bigger than you are? Why is so and so blowing up and you haven't? Kind of a thing, But I think it's important that we connect with our fans and that we read, what they're really wanting, and test our songs out on the road that way. Like the music I just put out, those are songs that I was singing on the road. And if they were singing those choruses back to me the second time, around, then I knew I had something. And I just think it's important to pay attention to those people in that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I can't remember where I was. I think I was downtown or something. And I ran into somebody that was kind of like either did music or was well known because of TikTok. And I was like, man, I was like front row listening to the cover band, just hanging out with some chick at the time. I was single, and
imagine that.
And imagine that. And he was like, man, I got to get out of here. People want to keep taking pictures with me. And I was just like, man,
that's part of it.
I was like, all right, man. But I just was thinking to myself, I was like, man, you're missing the point. Like, that's the gift that we have.
Yes.
Is that, if I can take 3 minutes, 2 minutes out of my day and stop and take a picture with somebody.
Yes.
And, you know, you never know what people are going through. That might change the course of his life, or, you know, maybe just for that minute, or maybe a month, or it might make his whole year. And
he's going to go home and tell 3 or 4 or 10 people about it.
Yeah.
And that's a billboard for you. Not that's why you do it, but absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about Cornbread Cowboi. How did you how did you meet him?
Well, you know, he was up in my DMs.
Oh, sliding in.
Nice.
Bless it. But he came to
Was
a
he
show.
like, can I play with your hair?
No, he was like, will you be my wife?
Oh.
Anyhow, and I'm like, no, but I'll see you in Tampa. So, because he lived in Tampa at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he was at my show in Tampa, and he's just like, I'm such a fan. Why are you not bigger than you are? What can I do? Like, can I share my platform with you in some way to help grow this thing? And I'm like, absolutely. Let's collab. And so I pitched the idea out there of like, what about like the Coyote and the Roadrunner kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Like a chase. And he was like, oh my God. Anyway, and he agreed to that. And he'll have some good like song ideas to use in the background. But anyway, check our series out. It's fixed to be up on YouTube from beginning to current, because it's kind of in a sequence. But the cat and mouse chase, the falling in love, falling out of it kind of series. But that is who he is. Like at the strip club on a Monday night, drunk as Cooter Brown, doesn't have a driver's license and likes to take the Amtrak and the Greyhound wherever he goes. Kenny Powers, by God.
Yeah.
You know, his wardrobe. I mean, I love him to pieces. We are not really dating. We're just dear friends. But yeah, we're going to party together, and no, we're not dating, you goofball.
I know you better than that.
But I love
I'm just
him.
kidding with you.
He's precious though, but
I mean,
I'm
his
so
mustache is, I mean, that thing is.
Golly, but you ought to see us together at a NASCAR race. I think we'll be at the All-Star race together in May as well, but it is wild.
What races did y'all go to?
Was he at Daytona with me? I know we were at the All-Star race together last year. I did God Bless America. No, the All-Star race is in North Wilkesboro. That's like if you ever get a chance to go to the All-Star race, that's kind of it's the NASCAR's kickoff event. Like, you know, Richard Petty's always there, and Bobby Allison, and all the big, you know.
I've just been to Talladega 9 times.
Woo! That is a bucket list of mine to sing. I love NASCAR. Is the classiest organization
I've never been to a NASCAR
ever been
race.
a part of, and people laugh when they hear that. But I mean, but they just treat you. I mean, like they're just godly. I mean, like someone like when you're singing the anthem, they like Mr. Billy, whoever the chaplain is, they'll meet you and pray with you. You know, you got your own driver. You stay in the nicest hotels with the nicest automobile, kind of a thing, and they just treat you top notch. And I've met some great people.
I went to one NASCAR race. It was like the day before the NASCAR race, it was trucks that were racing.
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Daytona,
The only reason I went is because I hated my stepdad in high school, and my mom made my stepdad take me to that race.
Oh.
And we got there, and we were supposed to stay for the race the next day, but we hated each other so much.
Did he punch you in the face?
We watched that race, and and he was like, "Well, what do you think?" And I was like, "I think that was stupid. I don't want to be here." And we went back home that night. We got an argument the whole way home. So
why did you think it was stupid?
Because I didn't want to be next to him.
Y'all get along now?
No, I hate him.
Oh.
They're separated now, so
I hate that.
he can kick rocks.
So
and
you won.
flip-flops. I won. I mean, he lost.
Golly, I get
But
a lot of trouble.
I'd like to go see a NASCAR race, I think, now. I know,
You should.
like, Grant Gilbert just recently got into NASCAR, and he said he's never watched it either growing up, but he loves it now.
Daytona's one to go to. Charlotte is a good one to go to.
I'd like to go to Bristol, honestly.
Yeah, Bristol's.
Is the Rex the highlight or no?
Oh Lord, I don't wish that on anybody.
I mean, I don't want nobody to get hurt, but is that the cool part? The fun? Is it fun?
Whatever.
I think
kind of
it's
stuff you watch on Twitter. I don't believe that.
It's the community. It's the tradition. It's the gentlemen start your engines and that.
Do you like being in the crowd or in that middle section with the RVs?
I've actually never been in the crowd.
Okay,
really?
So you're always in the RV section in the middle?
I'm on the pit, and then
That's cool.
and then I'm
Like
up
right
in
on the pit, like where the cars are fucking.
Yep, I'm down there, and then I'm in the box with the alcohol and the
That's
you know
awesome.
with
the
the
boxes.
decision makers, if you will. So I've had good experiences. If you
How
will.
long does a NASCAR race take? A couple hours, 4 or 5 hours, kind of like a football
It's like
game.
a all
3
day.
to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 to 4 hours.
So I've been
cool.
But
to,
it's something fun to go to when you get a chance. I would
Yeah.
recommend it.
I need
I've
to
been
do
to
that.
7 Talladega races sober.
Wow.
Good job.
Yeah, that's
I don't
crazy.
drink as much anymore either.
But I went to 2 when I was underage and got absolutely trashed. At Talladega, bring your own cooler in. So
Yeah.
Golly,
Yeah.
I've not been to Talladega Speedway. I've passed by it many times, but that is a bucket list of mine to do that. And
it's fun. You can camp out there for.
We should do that.
My family, we used to go out there and camp out. It was like a national holiday, you
I
know,
love
for the
that.
family. But
Dude, let's get a camper and go.
But
to
I went to
Talladega.
the Nashville race a few years ago, and the girl I was dating at the time, the artist she worked for, sang national anthem, and we got to sit up in the box. That's a whole different thing. That's where you say you sit.
And the air conditioner.
It's great, air conditioner. The cars
squash
aren't as
casserole,
loud.
fried chicken.
Have you ever rode in one of the NASCARs?
No, there's only what's a one seater, and you know those drivers pee
You
on
can do it
themselves.
at Talladega.
You can.
Yeah, it's called.
They pee on themselves.
They pee
Hold
on
let's
themselves.
back
What is
up
it
a
called,
little.
McIlwain? Do you know?
The NASCAR experience, the Richard Petty NASCAR.
Richard Petty NASCAR
NASCAR.
experience.
Really?
You can ride. Yeah,
I've heard of that.
they only go. Like
My stepdad
100,
offered
though.
to do that with me too. I told him.
Yeah.
No, but I walked on the track, Daytona, and Charlotte. Can you believe how the incline of that stuff?
Yeah.
God, I don't know, but that's my fan base. That's my clientele. You know, yours too. Obviously, it's or a lot of it. I mean, I have a lot of gay men, a lot of gay followers too. But I don't know. I love NASCAR, and it's just I grew up with my hearing it in the background on Sunday afternoons, and Daddy falling asleep on the couch watching the NASCAR race, and he was a big Mark fan, and I still remember when Davey Allison got in a wreck. I was a little tiny thing. But and Earnhardt, my dad.
What about when Earnhardt died? I remember that day
I
to
definitely
a T.
remember Earnhardt died.
What's your story?
I was at my grandparents' house sitting on that beige sofa, and I just remember the wreck happening, and we didn't think that it was as bad as it really was.
Yeah,
Like
it didn't.
nobody
Yeah.
thought it was that bad, but it was. And anyhow, but I'm a partner or an ambassador, I guess you could say, for High Rock Vodka. Dale Jr. and Amy, I've gotten to know them a little bit, and they're fans of what I do.
His
They're
podcast is great,
good.
by the way.
Yes, Dale, Mike, they're good people, but very down to earth, and just good old people, and big fans of country music. And again, NASCAR, it's like you grow up thinking celebrities are celebrities, and then you meet them, and then they're just people like we are, you know, and reminds you to be the same when you meet your fans, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
as you are.
I'll never forget. So we would have a get together at the house every Sunday, and
For NASCAR?
for NASCAR for the race.
Okay.
You know, Joel would be cooking up ribs, burgers, whatever. Well, like, you know, as a kid, you don't really like watch the games or like stay glued to the TV. I mean, it's just cars going around in a circle, you know. And so I went out. So I went out back and was like riding my skateboard. And I came back inside, and Bob was my stepdad's friend. He had a pyramid of empty beer cans on the fireplace,
I love that.
and everybody in the room was crying.
Oh no.
And I was like, "What happened, Mom? What happened?" They're like, Dale Earnhardt just died in a car, or got in a real bad wreck,
That's
or whatever."
crazy.
Yeah,
2002. What was it?
2002. Yeah.
I remember it. I remember my grandma was like, "Come on, we're going to Kmart," and I was like, "Why?" She said, "Cuz we're going to go buy everything Dale Earnhardt. He just died." And she said, "It's going to be worth a lot of money soon. Come on, get in the car." And
Heaven's race team.
and you know, I'm
Remember all
like
that
getting in the
stuff from
car. I'm like,
Walmart?
"Grandma, who is Dale Earnhardt?" And she was like, "It doesn't matter. Get in." And we went to Kmart and we bought everything with number 3 on
did
it.
she
Did
pull
you?
the,
Do you still have it? Do you still
Yeah,
have
it's still
it?
at my grandma's house. Yeah.
Did she pull the this was on clearance?
Oh,
thing?
my grandma almost put Kmart out of business, Hannah.
Yeah.
She would go
Mitch was-
shopping
Mitch
at
was
Kmart.
raised
Jacqueline
by-
Smith.
Mitch
And,
was raised by his
by
grandparents.
my grandparents. And
Are you an old soul then?
I don't know, maybe. Not really. I don't know.
You were listening to
Never
a
thought of
cassette
that.
tape when I walked in
We
here.
listened to NPR growing up. I didn't listen to music. I had to listen to public radio, talk radio. Yeah, it was weird. Anyway,
That's tragic.
we
Not even gospel?
Uh-uh.
My grandparents like gospel.
What was I finna say?
I'm
No,
sorry.
we're talking about your
NPR, Kmart.
Kmart.
Oh, my grandma would shop at Kmart, and when we get to the checkout, she would say, "Oh, this was on the 50% off rack," knowing good and well it wasn't. And I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, "Come on, Grandma,
They
like
aren't
just
listening to
just pay the price." And she'd argue with the lady, and she'd be like, "Well, call the manager over here," and they'd call the manager, and they'd give her 50% off every time she'd pick like one random item and make it the 50% off item.
As a kid, did you know that was wrong, or did you?
I knew it was wrong. Yeah.
mentality?
No, it freaked me out. Yeah. I was like, man, this is so embarrassing. But it always worked for her. It was so weird. Still to this day, she'll kind of do it sometimes.
Well, thank God for that conviction. That gives me hope for this generation out here of hoodlums, that make human instinct still good.
Yeah.
Which is what I think us influencers really ought to strive for, especially this coming year with as divided as things are. Not getting political. I know where you stand, baby. But
Voted
unity.
for Biden. I'm kidding.
So be it. But but again, like I just personally, I'm really just because my audience is so eclectic. I have to remain as neutral as possible, and I just think as much as I can unify people, the better. As much as we can help them escape.
Yeah, for sure.
All the crap, and if we can do that in a song, why not? Or in a music video, or in a comedy skit, or something. Why not do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that with this, all these projects coming out with mine, with you
Yeah.
too, that we can do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm
Uh-oh.
Are you allergic to dogs or anything?
No.
Okay, cool.
Who just puppy dog?
That's big.
Baby. Hey, sweetie. Hey, girl.
Big yeah.
Are you sweet?
Eh.
She smells like
Sorry,
strawberry
get that
cake. I bought some cake for the boys.
So I'm where are you from?
I'm from just outside of Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, cool. It's beautiful down there.
It is.
You're near God's country, Statesboro, Georgia.
Fresh out of Savannah. People call me Hannah, H to the M to the D. You mean to tell me you had me, I got fixed up and came down to a podcast and you didn't listen to my music before I got
No, I
here?
did listen to your music, and I looked into all your
He
socials.
did. He was cramming at
I'm
the,
giving
at the
you a-
table.
Yeah, but
Time
I don't
to
know. I don't know where you're from. I've known who you are since I moved to town.
Really?
Yeah, I've just seen you around. I haven't known you. But you're from Savannah, Georgia.
Yes, sir. About 20 miles north of there. And been here for
When did you know
13
that
years.
music was your thing? When did you know you could sing?
I could sing before I could talk.
Cool.
So just always, I grew up listening to all those cassette tapes on the wall right there.
Yeah,
Your
it's
family-
country.
Your
It's the
family was
best.
into music a lot? Any of them
My
play
dad
and
can
sing?
sing. My daddy sounds a little bit like Vince Gill.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
My dad's got a pretty voice. He taught me to sing harmony, actually. But Reba McEntire's like my end all be all vocal. Oh, and Alan Jackson was my first concert, and so he's my end all be all. And then Hank Jr. is also my end all be all.
Did you go to his show at Lake Martin?
Who? Alan?
Alan Jackson, that big, what was it called? Aquapalooza?
No. But I did go to the Alpha Rodeo when he was at Auburn.
Yeah.
I was there.
Nice.
Hell
Barely
yeah.
legal, but I was there.
Barely
Raising hell.
That's right.
War Dam.
Roll Tide.
Well, damn, did you go to Auburn?
I went to Georgia, and we
no.
we
But you're an
support.
Auburn fan?
All Georgia fans are Auburn fans because we don't like Alabama unless we're
I
playing
went to
Auburn.
Auburn.
By
So
God,
I'm
I'll
real-
support that.
An all big Auburn fan.
I love you, honey. Anyway, but
so-
yeah,
so you
but-
know you
but
could sing from
yeah, I grew up
young.
listening. Yes, grew up listening to 90s country radio. Obviously, and I was hooked. Daddy, played that old Clint Black cassette tape. Do you have the Killing Time one up there?
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
my, there
it's,
is a,
I
that's,
listened to
that
that a
is
lot.
that's probably my favorite, one of my favorite cassettes I grew up listening to as well. But yeah, how could you listen to that stuff and be musically inclined and not fall in love with it?
Yeah.
And so I just knew. I could stay up late one night a year, and that was to watch the CMA Awards. And
Hell yeah.
anyway, award shows don't mean much to me anymore, but for a while they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always known that's what I've always wanted to do. I
When did
love
songwriting start?
songwriting started in college when my parents divorced. Wasn't expecting that to happen, and I had to kind of express myself
Have an
in some
outlet.
way. Yeah, it has some outlet. I've always been heavy, so I never really had serious boyfriends until I was like in my 20s. So I had to have an outlet, and songwriting was the way I started to express those feelings, and picked up a guitar and started doing that. And I never played the electric guitar until I got to Nashville, and one of my guitar heroes, Jaron Johnson, he's the lead singer of a band called the Cadillac, Three.
Yeah.
And they were the Cadillac Black then, I think. Well, they
Oh, wow.
just come Cadillac 3. Anyhow, but signed me to my second publishing deal, and gave me my 69 Telecaster that I play the majority of the time on stage. And he's like, "Here, learn it. I think you got the chops, girl."
Yeah.
anyway, and that was what I needed. I needed somebody that I looked up to that believed in me to say, hey, you can do it. Because, hell, I didn't know girls could play the guitar. I didn't until I saw Bonnie
Did your dad
Raitt on
play guitar?
YouTube. Nope.
No.
My parents don't really play instruments.
Cool.
I mean, I was required to take piano growing up, but again, it was from little old stiff white ladies that played in the Baptist church. It wasn't. If I had it my way, it'd have been from the old black man
white
at
lady.
Berryville Baptist.
Stiff white lady.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, I go
we
to-
could all see a stiff white lady
Yeah.
right now playing piano.
Yeah.
As soon as you say that, everyone's like, "Yep, I know what stiff white lady you're talking about."
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you sing in church growing up? Did they make you get up there and sing? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
They didn't have to make me. I'm eating peanuts. That stuff's so good.
Hey, just keep an eye.
like she's just hiding behind my fat thighs. She stuck them right back over by me.
Hey, my thighs are bigger than yours, Uncle Mitch.
She just stuck them right back.
Of course, I was singing in church.
Did you just call him Uncle Mitch?
I don't know, Uncle Mitch.
She said she was gonna call me Uncle Mitch, and she
I did.
like that.
Yeah, I sang in church.
Cool.
I mean, why not?
You said you grew up cooking with your grandma and your mom. Did they sing as well?
And Daddy.
Was there singing in the
No,
in
Daddy
the kitchen?
didn't sing. My grandparents didn't sing.
Okay.
My grandparents loved country music, though. My Nan and Papa liked to do what they call toddling, dancing across the living room. And the TNN was a thing then,
Yeah.
Tennessee News Network. So they play the Opry they air the Opry on Saturday nights. And so got to watch the Opry with them. I'd stay with them on the weekends and watch the Opry. And I think the
Have you
Statler
had your
Brothers
Opry
show or
debut?
something. Opry debut was in 2019,
Were they able to make it to that?
September. Yes, my grandmother was there.
That's awesome.
And she's a hoot. I love her. She's still kicking and one of my biggest champions. And she is one of my inspirations comedically as well. She is a hoot.
Yeah.
But you'll see her show up here and there and some things
Did
that
you
I
cry
do.
when you played the Opry?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I wept. I mean, they had to do my circle thing at like 4:00 that afternoon and film it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, because when I was a little girl, like I'm sure they thought something was wrong with me because I was so obsessed with country music.
I might pass out when I get my turn.
Have you
up there.
have you not had your debut yet?
I haven't.
Oh man,
We're still working on it.
it's the most
but
sacred place. I've been to some debuts where I've heard him quote what I'm about to tell you verbatim. Anyway, and where I've not even seen him cry, and it breaks my heart because it's like, man, how could you not know
I
what
went
you're about
to
to do?
Dylan Carmichael's Opry debut.
Oh,
whereas,
DC.
he used to work security there, and he wouldn't even. He said, "I'm not going to stand in the circle until I get my time
Love
up
it.
here."
I didn't either.
He could have, you know what I mean? He could have just walked in there and while he's working or whatever, but he didn't. And then his mom sang with him and played Son of a, and I mean, I lost it. He let me come, he let me come up and hang out with him, like see the whole thing backstage and
Yeah.
everything. It was,
You boo-hoo. God, I would
I
have
mean, I
too.
lost it. I mean, and every time, it's like I didn't get to see Ella's debut. I had a show, but she's played a couple more times since then, and every time I go in there, it's just such a
It's sacred.
sacred. And the dolly thing upstairs, that's cool. Love it.
It is. It is. They got one.
What
of
is
those
the dolly thing upstairs?
It's like a mural of her
okay.
at the top of the stairs when you go upstairs.
I've worked and shot photo and content there maybe like 10 or 15 times. And it's never like I've never been to the other side until I went with Trey recently to go in the guest door.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really knew that backstage was a cool experience. So it was
Oh,
just always
yeah.
regular to me until I did that. And I was like, dang, so people don't even get to see how cool it is back there.
Oh, it's
like
so
all the
cool.
rooms and like the memorabilia and stuff. Like, did you get to go in the Women of Country room?
Oh yeah,
Like that one's cool. I know there's one for like your first time.
Hannah's gonna
and
be
then-
in that thing one day.
Oh, yeah.
I was there last week. Mark Will's daughter Macy is a fan, and they're now friends of mine. But I surprised her. They had me surprise her for her birthday, and Cody Johnson
That's
was
cool.
playing, and Lori Morgan, and I'm a Lori Morgan fan. And so Lori took us on a tour, and she's got Keith Whitley's old locker, and
Yeah.
they think it's haunted, and it's right beside Mark's. And they were just telling us some funny stories about how the lock doesn't work unless you use a certain combo, and anyway, I just try to soak stories like that up, and they're so happy to pass those down because it's like nobody gives a dang to hear about it anymore, and it's just. But when I stepped into the circle, I just remember saying, girls my age were drawing pictures of their wedding dresses, but when I was a kid in art class, like I was always drawing that WSM microphone stand in that circle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like always, and so I wept. I just wept, but the Opry staff told me, they said, we feel like this place has been waiting on you.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
but so I mean, I've done it 10 times. I'd like to do it 110 or more if I can.
Be a
But
damn member.
but by next time, darling, you consider yourself a guest if you hadn't already beat me to it. But I
for
just,
sure.
my success is your success as a friend.
Well, thank you. I love you.
Love
Let's
you.
talk about the other damn half.
By God.
By God. I was curious about that. I wanted to ask. So you put out the EP first, right? When you
The
were
half
still
record.
you were still on
Sonny.
Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine, did you record this the other damn half when you recorded the EP?
No.
Or how did so you did it all after?
No.
I was curious how you got the
one of the reasons I parted ways, if I can be totally transparent, was, he charged me, I had no idea, but $138,000 just for those 5 songs. And that ate up my recording budget. So there was no, and I didn't know it at the time, but in order to keep, your streams high, like I had a high listening audience. But in order to keep that up, you got to keep firing songs out of the gun, and you got to have money to do that. I don't think people realize how much money it takes to market music, to record a song, to have a photo shoot, get the artwork, the graphics.
Especially females, y'all got to do the hair and damn makeup.
Yeah. Well, luckily my hair gets done. Thank you, Andrew. Whether I'm there or not, but Nashville's cost me most of my hair anyway. But anyway, yeah, it's expensive, and it just and when I lost my record deal, I have my publishing deal, but my publishing deal has the option to not pay me until I get another record deal. So I'm basically in purgatory with my publishing company too. So I had to depend on my touring and all to bring in income. Thank God. But so it's not been an easy road for me. So I went shopping for a manager, but nobody wants to sign you when you got a scarlet letter. Although most artists, a lot of artists I know haven't seen success until their second record deals. Yeah. But it's just been super hard to find a champion that would jump on board like that. And so,
and it's not like, at this point in your career, you're willing just to sign up anywhere. You got to, you want to be somewhere where
they get it.
And, they get what you're trying to do.
Well, and where they're capable, it's like, okay, I built my TikTok up. How can you help me build it further? How can you, where can you take this? How can you organize this with me, and let's move this a step further? And so, but yeah, it was just really hard it has been difficult to find, someone to jump on board that's capable of, and that has the room on their roster, to work with me or work for me. And I don't know if that's by God's design, because they say that he'll keep you hidden until he's ready for you to be seen. But while I was still there, I had songs like Redneck Ass, and I had written That Thing You Like. That Thing You Like. But all that to say, it was just, it's really, really hard. And then my buddy Trey Landon's over here, and his A&R, TL, I love him, but his, Chris Lacey's driving 2 hours to Fairview to go have dinner with him at his trailer to listen to songs. And I couldn't even get my girl to drive 20 minutes to come have a glass of wine, and a biscuit that's gone viral, for Pete's sake, because it's good, just to hear some songs. Yeah. Who didn't even know who Tammy Wynette was. Wow. So again, it's a dating game. Anything in this business is artist to producer, songwriter, artist to A&R, label rep. It's a dating game, and I just think that I just wasn't at the right place. Yeah. So again, it's unfortunate, but I couldn't just wait around for other people to jump on board, and I wasn't going to go after another deal without a manager. But I got really tired of not having music out, and I just wanted the world to. I thought it was time to put some music out and take myself on a headlining tour, because I could do it. So I did it.
Let's talk about that. Where are you going?
So this is my second headlining tour. We're going to Texas, Washington, Florida, Carolinas, everywhere. We will be in Ohio this time, Virginia, back to North Carolina. We're playing Two Step In. That'll be fun.
I've never heard of that. Was that like a legendary place?
Two Step In. It's a festival that I'm excited to be on. They reached out, but Cornbread's coming with me too, actually. But Cody Johnson's playing it, and Zach Top, and me, and Ernest is doing a Keith Whitley kind of a tribute thing.
Oh,
or
awesome.
something.
Cool.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Ella's got all the other spots because she's got Bradley behind her. You go,
Yeah.
girl. Anyway, so I'm doing the rest headlining dates, Mom.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is there going to be a Savannah date on there? A hometown show?
Yes, there will be. There will be. Well, I'm in Douglas with Blackberry Smoke. That'll be fun.
Cool.
And the Savannah Bananas. I'm sure I'll do some shit with them.
Oh, yeah, the softball
Oh,
team
yeah.
or whatever.
We love that.
Do you know them? Do you know those guys?
Maybe.
You coming back for the peanut?
Mcilwain party with some of the Savannah
Savannah
bananas.
I love that.
in
Are they not
Statesboro.
wild and handsome and wild?
What was his name? Rich?
Rich, yeah.
But the half record was a labor of love for my fans.
Mm-hmm.
I
I think it sounds damn good.
I appreciate that. I was praying for some XM play, and I got a few spins. 49 Winchester. I don't know they were fans, but that's how I guess they found me. I found them, but they started spinning me on their playlist there, and Elizabeth Cook did, and so I did a guest DJ spot a couple times this year, and I really enjoyed that on Outlaw. And I don't want to be an outlaw, but so I wrote that song, and
Yeah.
now that's the name of my second headlining tour.
I don't want to be an outlaw.
It's the Don't Want to Be an
Yeah.
Outlaw tour. But anyway, I'm just so tickled to have some great songs out in the world, and I'm still promoting them and hoping that they'll see the light of day as the Hannah brand continues to grow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
we
let's do a verse and chorus.
Let's do
then.
a verse and
Give
chorus.
us a song you've been excited about.
We got a
do you
guitar
want to
that's
play
in
it, or do you just want to
tune
play it on
in
your phone?
Sure.
I want to hear you pick a guitar, so let's get McIlwain to tune one up.
Tune it up.
I'm trying to think what I would play you that I hadn't released yet.
There you go.
Here we go.
Here, we'll set you up. Oh shit! Drop, dude.
I got a song on there called Country Do I wrote with my buddy Stephen Wilson Jr. I've been writing with him for a
Yeah,
while.
God,
He's so
we
good.
love his record. It's pretty much all we listen to on the radio.
And
on the
he
road.
is just, he's such a doll, baby. And, he and I get off on those like Zach Wild tangents. And we were talking about that old Pride and Glory record, like from the 90s. And anyway, but I was like, I told him, I said, I want one of those moments, one of those halftime rock moments to happen in one of my lives. Just like some that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You break in the halftime. Anyway, and so we wrote it. It's a song called Country Do, and it's on the other damn half. And the chorus is wordy as hell. But Ben Sinis came in with this chorus that he was just riffing over and over again. And beer's going to drink and a bee's going to buzz. But check that out. We could do, if we don't have a guitar and a whole step down, we can just play a teaser of that.
I can do it for you.
Okay.
McIlwain will get on it.
So you play with them rings on? You don't take them off when you play a show? Or?
No, not at all.
My grandma wears a bunch of rings like
I mean,
that.
that one on your
Look how
middle
blue my
finger.
hands are. I feel like
What's that from? How
I
cold
have-
they
Is
are?
that all? Is that my hands are not? I got an autoimmune disease.
That's how Trey's toes are.
Yeah, I got heated socks on right now.
Really?
Look,
Yeah.
look, they got battery.
Yeah,
in
my
it.
hands hurt. That song will sound better playing and recording.
You just want to play
We can do it that
just,
way.
Just hold your phone up right to it like that. That'd be great.
Before you-
We ain't doing the guitar, McIlwain. We're just gonna play.
Yeah, I don't want to throw your chart. That's going to throw your thing out of tune and make
Oh,
out of
that's
whack.
$150 guitar.
Yeah, that's what we use it for. isn't
Then
it?
I don't want to play it. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Well, no, but
150 not playing that thing.
150 not playing.
no, but you know how it throws your guitar out of whack.
I can't play anything.
Oh,
I know what you're talking
I
about.
use a camera,
Jeremy
that's all I
pissed about
got
that
you.
one of his guitars. I
I love that jacket. Did you thrift that thing or what?
No, I didn't thrift it. That was a gift from. Although I bought Jared one for his birthday a couple years ago, and I got so mad. I was like, man, I wish I'd have kept that thing for myself. But my sweet assistant Taryn, hey girl, I love you, got me this for Christmas. Isn't that
Badass.
awesome?
That's awesome.
And then my sister got me a Hank Jr. A Country Girl Can Survive jacket from 1982, and I cried as well. Who cries over a Hank Jr.
Is that a vintage
merch
one
item?
or like a
Yes.
remake?
You know, a lot of times,
It's a roadie. It's a vintage one. Look at
Hell
that.
yeah.
a lot of the times
Extra
for this
small. Look at that.
podcast, I just wear like sweatpants
That's
and
what size I
stuff.
wear,
But I
too.
knew that you were going to be dressed up, so I got dressed up for you.
Well, I got
tonight.
that little Daryl Singletary thing after this, child. You know, we're
I
trying
know,
to keep
I
country
know.
music alive
I know.
and rock and roll. Country do. Next time I go in the studio, I'm taking my drummer with me because I love my band. I call them Mini Pearl Jam. Anyway, the money I have wasted recording.
Using them session guys.
I know. Well,
Play the same thing.
But this thing surprised me, though. I will say, we debuted at it debuted at number 15 on the Apple Country charts, and it went up to number 14, and it stayed there for a week.
Hell yeah.
Independently, I think that's pretty good, right?
That's great.
And then it was
It's a win.
and it was there for about a week on. It was like number 71 to number 68 on all genre on Apple all genre. So I don't know if that's anything, but to me that was something
No,
to
it's
see.
huge.
I was next to
great.
like Elton John and Morgan Wallen and people like that. So I thought that was pretty cool for me to be a nobody and to hang out there for a week at least without any money. I don't have the money to push
Yeah,
anything.
that's great.
So somebody's paying attention. Oh, country dude. Here's that little Stephen Wilson riff.
Beer's gonna drink and a bee's gonna buzz. Got some draw in our y'all, a little late in our back, twang in our veins. We know it's gonna rain if it says it in the almanac. Got some fist in our fight, a lot of bass in the trunk. Give me a field and a Friday night, and that dog will hunt. Yeah, with some dive here and work, booting, bush, lighting, bull, shooting, trot, climbing, John Colton, driven down the river, floating, Chattahoochee, Marshall, Tucker, honky tonk, and mother trucker. Beer's gonna drink and a bee's gonna buzz. Honey, country do what country does.
That's great. Sounds awesome.
Anyway,
That's out, right?
Yeah, that's out. That's
So y'all
out.
go
I haven't
listen.
really pushed it, as again, I'm just so particular. But again, I want these things to see the light of day, and I want to do it the right way and not just rush through it because I was so ready to get music out there. And I would encourage any artist. It's hard for us to wait. And because this town is such a town of what's next, hurry up kind of a thing. But honestly, just nobody's holding a gun to your head. Just sit and breathe and let the songs come and let the stuff happen as God wants it to happen. And I think when it's time, it'll all fall into place.
Sure, absolutely.
That's what I would tell Hannah, 5 years ago.
Yeah. So we got this other segment that we want to do.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How's your dating life? Are you single? You ready to share
As
that
a
with the
Pringle.
world?
Single as a Pringle.
Single as a Pringle. So our show is called DM Monday, and our podcast is called DM Monday.
DM Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind
Oh,
of
Lord.
DMs do you get?
What do your DMs look like?
Well, I am going to say this. Any more nude photos that I get on Snapchat, I have people that can find out who your mother or who your girlfriend is. Pictures directly go to them.
Dang.
You just get a bunch of that?
You know who you are.
They just send pictures like this. Or what?
I don't know.
Do you get
what
a
are we
bunch of those
talking
just
about
randomly?
here? Just random news.
Let's see what
I
I've
don't
got.
get random
I've
nudes.
pretty much blocked, but let's see what we've got up in there. You
What's
wanna
some
read
of the
them?
most clever DMs you've got on Instagram that maybe caught your attention?
You're like, man, I might want to talk to this guy.
Where you're like, yeah, just come on to
nice
the bus.
nips? That's interesting.
Oh, great.
Love to see the real you. That's interesting.
Nice nips.
Golly, do you have a boyfriend? BOYFRAN asking for a friend. His profile picture is a wife holding with a wife and a little baby.
Asking for a friend.
Oh God, I don't know.
What's one that's actually worked?
There's some famous people that are slid up in there too that I know have some girlfriends.
Uh-oh.
But we won't tell
We
them.
won't air that
What's that
dirty
meme
laundry
that says
today.
just wait till Valentine's Day and a bunch of us gonna be single? That's our screenshots of my DM.
That's awesome. What is there any good ones that have worked though? Like some slick comments where you're like,
The
what? I
best
like
pickup
that.
line, it wasn't in a DM, but the best pickup line.
Yeah.
You can use this, it's precious. But it was on St. Patrick's Day years ago
Okay.
in Savannah. But this Yankee walks up to me and he goes, "What has one eye and fucks like a tiger?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "Oh, that was." I was like, "That's pretty good."
Yeah, Mcilwain will use that one tonight.
There you
if
go.
he can remember it
That's
after all the
prob-
fireball.
So what kind of
Yeah,
guys are you usually into? Or girls, whatever you're into.
What kind of guys am I into? I like my boys. I like good old boys. I like country boys, polished ones. I'm not into training anymore.
Like ones without mommy issues and stuff. Or you
Right,
like a sprinkle a little bit of
Oh
that in there?
goodness! I mean, I tend to date handsome boys, but again, they got to be handsome on the inside. I can't have him being jealous of what I do. I want a man that's sure of himself. But honestly, it's so hard to turn off music and, and what we do for a living. So whether he's an agent or a musician or an actor, I'd like to date someone in the creative realm that can really relate to what I do for a living. And, but he has to love Jesus and he has to love, old school George Strait.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you don't like George Strait. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Screw you, man.
What's your favorite George Strait song of all time?
Ooh, when'd you stop loving me?
I like Run.
Mine's definitely Run. I'll scream.
Run? Is that yours?
Yeah.
Run? Ooh, it's tied with Nobody in His Right Mind.
Is Chair George
Ooh,
Strait?
the chair,
Yeah,
my
the
God.
Chair? Yeah,
Yes.
that's it, yeah.
My God, today.
That's my second one.
That's in my top 5.
So I have a segment called Hot or Not. I'm going to name some things, and you just have to say if that's hot or if that's not.
Okay.
And we can go into it if you want to. The first
I
thing
love
is cut off sleeves.
That's not.
That's not.
No way, it's not. What about at a NASCAR race? Does that make the cut off sleeves okay?
I mean, if Brooke wore it,
Yeah.
she'd make it cute as hell.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Sexiest
But
arms and
guys,
in
cut
the
off
world.
sleeves? No.
But guys, no.
Okay. Guys with a puppy.
That's hot.
Guys that can cook.
It's probably a dog he's training to hunt waterfowl. So, yes.
Guys that can cook.
It's hot.
Yeah. Waterfowl. Trey's a duck hunter now. We need to make that known
The
to the
flies
world.
dies going to hit, son.
Yeah. Trey went on his first duck hunt.
Pow,
recently.
pow.
Yeah,
Pow, pow.
pow,
And it was
pow,
awesome.
pow,
How'd you
pow.
do?
I did great. I mean, I was shooting right next to Megan Patrick, so I felt like I killed something. You know?
Even if he didn't hit it, Megan hit it, so
Yeah.
it went down.
I know. She's so good with a gun.
There was one time we were in the blind, and by the time they called the shot, the duck was pretty much over the blind and was like coming around back. And so I was like, I'm not going to go after that. And I look over and Megan is out of the blind shooting backwards, like hit the duck. And I was like, did you hit it? She said, hell, I don't know. And then feathers just started falling down. I was like, yeah, you hit it. She's a badass. All right. Guys in uniform. So like military or police, firefighters, things like that.
I respect it, but I'm not attracted to
Yeah.
it. Respect it, but not hot to me.
Support the troops, but not.
Support the troops, but I
not
don't date
into
men
it.
in uniform.
Short kings, short guys. Confident short guys.
5'11" short, yes.
Yeah.
5'1". I don't want to be mean,
Alex
though.
You know what I mean?
Alex Maxwell short, not into it.
That darling. But hey, but generally those boys are tripods. So next question.
So we got to find out if Bonner's a tripod.
Yeah.
Guy in the industry. So like, yeah, a guy that you kind of just went over this, but a guy that understands your schedule and traveling.
That's hot.
So that's hot. Mustache.
What's hot?
That's all I got. You got any with that? No. What about jorts and boots?
That's not.
Nah, that goes into the cutoff sleeve kind of
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Uggs for men?
That's not.
What about Ugg slippers in the house? Hold on now. Ugg slippers are the shit.
Yeah, I've got some.
Have you ever had a pair of Ugg slippers?
Yes.
Have you ever had Crocs with the fuzzy inside?
I'm not like a label hoe this. I really don't. I mean, like I wear these old Wranglers, I wear custom Wranglers, and I wear old ass clothes that.
Yeah.
But me, I don't really keep up with.
Yeah,
them.
I mean, who do you get your own clothes? Like, or
have a
do you have
stylist,
somebody?
or-
You have a
I have that-
stylist?
I do. I just got honey. I'm so sorry.
It's all over your pants.
I know, right? Yeah, Jennifer Kemp's been working with me for years. I love her to pieces, but Cornbread Cowboi keeps me. Cornbread, for whatever reason, has an eye. He can pick out anything he's ever given me. Several tops that just fit me perfectly. But yeah, I just wear retro stuff.
Does
'cause
he have like a shop, or does he just see random tops like you should get this?
he buys them for me? Just sees
Yeah.
them. He think about me.
That's cool.
Or he's intoxicated and he buys something way too small for himself or something.
Yeah.
I
Have any
love
of
him.
your clothes been hand-me-downs from like your mom or your grandma or family?
I've got some hand-me-downs. I do. My grandmother
cool.
gave me this fuchsia gown at Christmas time. She said, the last time Charles and I ever made love was in 1989. It was the last time he ever got an erection because he was an alcoholic. And so she gave me that whole set. And it's gorgeous, man. It's 3X. It's beautiful. It follows me, but it's very comfortable. I've got a nice
awesome.
picture of it on my story.
Yeah, I had my
sweet.
roommate Clay. He had some hand-me-down stuff from his grandpa, and it was like old Corvette jackets and stuff. and
Oh
I
yeah, man!
thought
I
that was
love
so
that.
cool.
Hey,
man.
talk to your old people in your families.
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to go raid your Earnhardt statue at your grandma's.
Yeah, I need to look at it next time.
I'm just
there.
trying to get my grandma's puzzle collection. Yeah, I'm into puzzles. This is my puzzle table here.
I saw you doing that on your live. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, you ever thought about getting a puzzle made of your album artwork?
I've been thinking about that. Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
If you don't, I'll give it to
Have
you.
you
as a
done
gift.
puzzles?
I think I am a puzzle probably.
That face
for
was
some.
great.
I'm seriously worried about your hands.
Because they're so blue.
Yeah.
It's probably
What
rough
What
on
about
things.
hot or not guys that do puzzles?
I mean,
She
Nah,
respects
sure.
it. She respects
sure.
it.
I mean,
I respect it, but
again,
no.
as long as they love Jesus and as long as they
George
work
Strait.
hard and, you know,
Have you written that? Jesus and George Strait? That sounds like a good song.
is it? I feel like it's probably been written a whole
Probably
lot.
100 times.
35 times.
God, it's probably getting mentioned
But if
like
you
everybody.
put your spin on it, I think it could be cool.
Yeah. So,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
have you ever
Jamie
done
Johnson.
back to your cooking? Stand by the pan. Have you ever made something and it turned out not good, and you just played it off on the thing?
Oh, on the video?
Yeah,
Oh,
like you
Lord.
taste it and you're like,
that's
"Oh,
good."
great."
I had a dinner meeting, actually, with a guy from he's a decorator, big decorator on TV and stuff. Love him to pieces. But yeah, he was coming over one night, and I was doing like I film whatever I cook, and the chicken
Yeah.
was not done. And anyway, and I think I burned my sour cream drop biscuits or something. Anyway, bless his heart. So he probably thinks I can't cook, but he sent me a bunch of really, really nice curtains for the house. So thank you, Brian. But yeah, you can fudge some things on camera. But I'm pretty honest though. I'm liable to tell you.
Have
when
you
I
ever
fuck it
just
up.
not posted a video because you're like, "Yep, that one's not it. This turned out awful," or like,
No.
or I forgot and it burnt or something?
No,
Like,
I mean, I had one of my favorite rock and roll singers was coming over one time, and I made some beer bread, and I used regular flour instead of self-rising flour. But I posted the video anyway, and I was like, well.
Let's get into it. Let's try some of this cake. You
Oh,
brought
yeah,
us.
I made some strawberry cake for Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
Mcilwain, we get that out.
If you're into that.
I'm on a
Yeah,
diet,
get
so this
you
is my
some. Let's
excuse
get a little
to
bit of
cheat.
Valentine's.
You want some more of these D's nuts?
I don't need-
Okay.
I love you.
Get it out, Mcilwain. You gonna try? You gonna eat some with us, or you not gonna eat some?
Oh, it smells so good. Smells good.
Yeah. Bring that table over.
Smells like love.
It does. Good old strawberry cake.
Stand by your. Just give it to us one time.
We got some vintage.
Stand by your pen.
That's
I'm gonna
good.
stick it in the microwave. You angel, y'all eat all you want, y'all eat it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Try this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not putting this in my fitness pal.
Oh, don't.
All right. So what is this strawberry cake?
No, you gotta eat
I'll
some
just-
too, boo.
I'll grab it with my little hands. That one's mine, Mcilwain. Yeah, I've already been eyeing it. I know how I'm going to bite it the first bite. Give it.
Do we need one more plate? Are we good? Yes. Do you want any?
I don't
Do
need
you
it,
want
honey.
some? You don't need any. Have you already had some, or did you just taste it when you made it?
Yeah, I had some. I made it.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
You already in, Mitch?
Oh, yeah. Told you I'm on a diet, dude. This is great. That shit's good.
How old's this recipe?
messed up.
Did you make this recipe?
Yeah, I made
up?
it. I made it Sunday.
I like how moist it is.
Moist cake. Love it.
It's so easy. It's a box of white cake mix with strawberry jello,
A little bit of pink Play-Doh.
probably a little Holy Spirit, a little crack cocaine.
A little bit of blood and vanilla.
But I posted on for Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Oh, it hadn't even been posted yet.
Yeah, but anybody can cook. If you can get a driver's license and read directions and navigate your way to Florida, you can read a recipe.
I don't have a driver's license right now.
What'd you do?
Got a speeding ticket. Got a speeding ticket in Arkansas and called them and paid the fine and everything. And then my grandma called me today.
Brought a 9-inch blade to the airport.
It was 8 inches, but I did do that.
They always lie about the length.
Yeah, they. Well, Hannah, do you have anything else that you feel like we didn't cover?
No, I wish we could probably cover another song that's more of a hit, but I think it is what it is, honey. You
Well,
do
the
you.
people that watch our podcast, they're
I'll
like,
go listen.
they'll go listen. And I just want to say thanks. You know, the people like Randy Adams out there that watch our podcast and they're here.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah, Randy's the man. If he will if you're ever near South Carolina, North Carolina, he's at your show. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Love that,
y'all go check out Hannah's music. She's awesome. And obviously we just had a great conversation with her, and she's a really awesome person. So get out there, support her, go see her on her headlining tour. And thank y'all for watching the DM Monday podcast.
Thank you.
We will see y'all next time. Peace out.
Uncle Mitch, Uncle Trey.
I told him that thing you like.
Woo! I'm the one that taught him that thing you like.
Do the talker.
Troublemaker, I was just like you with time on my hands.